Punch, Ultimate Debate League. I be the host, iXclusive said. Debater to my left, Jigga, introduce yourself.
And it's Jigga, man, repping Palm Beach County, Florida. Shout out my Science Cartel, the gang. Follow on Twitter, subscribe to Punch Ultimate Debate League on the YouTube. Let's get it.
Debater to my right, Taurus, introduce yourself.
Taurus, man, PG Maryland. Shout out RRC, Free Reek. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel, yo. RP Tech. Get it.
All right, topic tonight is, should college athletes be paid? Taurus, calling air, what you got?
Give me heads.
It's heads. What you want to do?
It's on Jigga.
All right, Jigga, it's on you. Top of the first, 1 minute on the clock. Punch.
I said, hey, yo, what's my motherfucking name? It's Jigga, nigga. Taurus. I'm going to walk you around campus today. You just going to be a tourist. So the lesson I'm going to give you, don't ignore this. The topic, should college athletes get paid? Let's explore this. It's no secret. The highly physical sports and injuries go hand in hand. A player can have a career-ending injury at any moment while he's playing. The unsafety of sports should be enough for players to earn some type of revenue alone for competing for their schools. Instances of players getting paralyzed in hits or tackles on the football field, breaking their leg in basketball games before they even get started. Examples, you got Marcus Lattimore. You got Jalen Smith before he went to the Cowboys. You got Kevin Ware. Dudes you don't even know. A dude named Alan Ray. A dude named Derek Rowland. Tyrone Portro. These athletes are sacrificing their bodies and physical health at a chance to play a game that they love. Maybe even make it to the next level, because only 2% of college athletes really make it to the next level. Being an athlete in college is a full-time job, bouncing between a weight room, you got court or the field, classes, film sessions. Not only that, but the schedules that the NCAA require, even in the tournaments, that you're going to miss school. Not only do they miss class, they miss the televised game that they make a lot of money for and receive millions of viewers for. College athletes should definitely get paid, man. Time.
All right, bottom of the first, 1 minute on the clock. Taurus is on you. Punch.
Hey, yo. Shout out to Jimmy, man. Real debaters can argue either side. So, should student athletes be paid? Well, first off, student athletes receive incentives, not money. This is still a rightful form of payment. Example, the NCAA has insurance programs and internships for athletes. This is the thing about student athletes. Niggas got to be at workouts and games on Saturdays and all that shit, but it's time consuming. But majority is in a school on a scholarship. If you have been given a free ride to attend a good school, whereas other kids paying thousands of dollars a year, and you got here for free, and you have a chance to make more money than all of them in the future, your peers, like, they're paying to basically be in debt while you get the chance to be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So you getting paid in life. It's about the long run. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. So once you put in that work and you get to that level, everybody can't make it, but it's about the opportunity. You got to make it the most of what you got. You did? Time.
All right. Top of the second. Jigga is back on you. 1 minute on the clock. Punch.
All right, that round was mad short. Let's go to the second angle. These student athletes bring in an incredible amount of money. The NCAA collects $1.1 billion per year from CBS and Turner for the broadcast rights to the March Madness tournament. That's only the tournament itself, my dude. $1.1 billion just off the tournament. Not even talking about the $470 million annually for the college football playoffs, bro. Let's look at some schools. You got Texas, Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Penn State, just to name a few big revenue schools. They earn between $40 million and $80 million a year. That's on par with some teams in the NFL. We're not even doing that. And what do they do with some of this money? They give it to the coaches. They reinvest in jerseys every year, renovating the new stadium. They could definitely break some of these students off on the side, bro. Conferences and individual colleges make additional meals during the regular season, let alone all this stuff that I just mentioned. Now, let's look at some names where this affected some dudes. You got Reggie Bush, Chris Webber. You got Maurice Claret. These dudes ended up violating some NCAA rules because they wasn't getting enough money, because things was going on the side that they felt like, hey, I got to help my peoples out and all that stuff. You saying these dudes on scholarships, obviously the scholarship ain't doing enough. You got names like AJ Green, Des Bryant, Cam Newton. They all getting in trouble for violations and talking about receiving benefits or somewhere from an outside source. What I just told you earlier with the things that they get the money in, that shows the amount of money the NCAA is bringing in over the course of 1 month alone with the March Madness thing, and take on the whole the whole sports season. Yet the money being made off these events is not trickling down to the players who are the stars of these tournaments, man. Time.
All right, bottom of the second, 1 minute on the clock. Taurus is back on you. Punch.
I hear a lot of decisions. Life is all about decisions. See, student comes before athlete, and that's for a reason. A student athlete is a participant in an organized competitive sport sponsored by the educational institution in which he or she is enrolled, meaning the education comes first. Even if some students lack the necessary grades, they can't even play in the game. Playing is a privilege. In 2017, the NCAA did make that $1.1 billion. That's a lot of money. All sports together recently made $6 billion. So let's do the math, Jigga. Not even including the coaches, commissioners, none of them. Let's just do the athletes, right? If all 460,000 college athletes get paid equally, that's $13,000 a player. And then the average fast food salary is $20K a year. So if it's about the money, go work at Popeyes then. If it's in that case, go work at Popeyes because they making more money if we split the money up. You choose to play. It wasn't mandatory. You could be what you want. You could do what you want. You made that decision. ATK said it best. It's about the experience. It's time.
All right, top of the third. Y'all know how we do this. Y'all both going to get 30 seconds each, 3 times with a final minute to close out your round. Starting with you, Jigga. 30 seconds on the clock. Punch.
I just want to start off saying your rounds is mad short. You talking about these dudes made a choice. Let's talk about how these recruits be coming to get these dudes in college. We're not going to act like these dudes is the smartest dudes. No offense to my brothers playing college sports. But recruiters come get these athletes specifically for the sports that they play. They're not looking for these dudes for their academics. What are you talking about, bro? They made a decision. Yeah, but a decision that's going to benefit their family. That's going to benefit their future down the line. I don't get what you're saying. It's a decision. It's the decision that's going to benefit their life. Talking about they're going to go work at Popeyes or whatever. Dude, that angle was trash, my G.
All right, 30 seconds on you, Taurus. Punch.
Let me talk to your soul real quick, brother. I said lessons, discipline, trust. All characteristics that money can't buy. Also, what sports teach you. Everybody wants the quick bread. If don't eat, is your money being long with your lifespan being shorter? Huh? Ain't no success without pain. If you pay me now, I'm going to use that money on bullshit. Motherfucking parties, cars, hoes. Fuck basketball. I don't care about that. I'm winning already. I got the bag. Tough.
All right, it's back on you, Jigga. 30 seconds. Punch.
Hey, like I said, your rounds is mad short. We're talking about basketball and football because those are the really only sports where you got to go to college for some amount of years. You got baseball, soccer, and even swimming. You can go straight from high school and do that, even golf and tennis. We're only really talking about basketball and football, and only really football because basketball, let's not forget, you used to be able to come right out of high school, but you had the Kwame Browns, you had the Kwame Browns, Emeka Okafor, all these dudes that came in the first round didn't do nothing. I mean, we only talk about basketball and football, bro. All these other sports, you can go straight out of high school into the pros if you want to, man. Time.
All right, Taurus is back on you. 30 seconds. Punch.
Hey, this looking like a 30. You don't get paid to do no PG, right? You put in the work, then you get to the big leagues. You do college sports, then you get to the NBA or NFL or soccer or whatever big league. Which QB is better? Someone who is trying to be the best and is hungry, or that's actually trying to make it, or the QB that pulled up in the Benz and spent all his money last week on clothes? It's about the work ethic that's going to get you where you need to be. Like, you rather get a K-Shine that just won $10,000, or you want that one that was trying to kill Verb? It's morals over money. Time.
All right, it's your final 30 seconds, Jigga. Punch.
Bro, I get you with all these angles, bro. But we talking about should college athletes get paid. These dudes put their life on the lines. These dudes is doing this for their family. You can say these dudes is doing it for them. They made the decision. But, college athletes, man, they don't want to put their life on the line. This is their future that they looking at, man. I don't know what the hell you talk about, this old battle rap thing. They should get paid. They already putting in the work now. They putting in the work when they go to school. That's why it is how it is now, man. I don't know what the hell you talking about, bro. Time.
All right, your final 30 seconds, Taurus, is on you. Punch.
Jealousy. Who's to say one person is going to get paid equally? all money ain't good money. If I'm getting $50K to run the ball, but you getting $200K to throw it, that creates a division. But it ain't supposed to be no iron team. In the NFL, the NBA, and you make a lot of bread, but you do once on a small scale. No, like if you do it on a small scale, no work is being done. The goal is already met, and that's taking a shortcut. Like Kevin Hart said, everybody want to be famous, but nobody want to put in the work. Motherfuckers be too greedy. Like, remember, these sports are voluntary. You are paying to be in college. They don't need you. You need them. That's the difference.
All right, Jigga, it's back on you. This is your final minute to close out your round. 1 minute on the clock. Punch.
All right, I'm going to do it like this. The last reason why college athletes should get paid is because them getting paid will bring some type of financial awareness to this dude. One aspect I find lacking in these topics is ignoring the fact that a lot of athletes are very financially irresponsible. The ESPN documentary BOUT gave an inside views of financial woes of many athletes, noting that 60% of NBA players are broke within 5 years of retirement. 78% of NFL players went bankrupt or under stress in 2 years after retirement. Many of these players blame poor investments, trusting unethical financial advisors, lavish spending habits as the reason for their money troubles, bro. If schools were beginning to pay players, they can also help these students build a foundation of financial literacy. Families are often tasked with providing direct support for these student athletes to abide by the current payment rules. Student athletes are not even permitted to autograph items, sell personal memorabilia as a way to generate revenues. Outside of student loans or partial scholarships or walk-ons, it's up to each of these athletes' families to pay for the student to be at school. Paying for the athlete will provide some type of financial relief to these families, which may not have the funds to make long-term supports. That's not even talking about the video games, the jersey sales, not even talking about all the other influential stuff that's going on, bro. You talking about, oh, it's a decision and all this other stuff, bro. That don't make no sense. If the athletes needed the colleges, then they wouldn't be giving the students scholarships. What the hell are you talking about, bro? Taurus, you lost. We know this is not the first time you've done this. You were supposed to debate why college athletes should not get paid? I don't even know why you're debating that dumb shit. I don't know where you from, but now you know how to sound funness. You are dead. What they gonna find next to their bodies? A black compass. Time.
Taurus is back on you. 1 minute to close out your round.
All right, boom.
Punch.
So you saying that some athletes are in debt because after 5 years of playing and being in college is going to help that? Getting money in college is going to help that? Nah, bro, that's just going to make them in debt earlier than usual. See, that's the dip. Like, if you have a good teacher and a bad teacher, like we all had both, right? But what happens when you got a teacher with like a malice intent that is trying to stop you from being good? You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like you getting paid more than them, and now they going to do shady shit to you. And you want to rap, nigga? Jigga, I'm over the hype. If student athletes need to be paid well, the people need to see some trophies tonight. Because if you the same nigga that never played a sport in his life, you really need to stop, bro. Because you got me hot, bro. Because these coming from a student athlete, something that you not, bro. You a fucking dummy. I'm finding your point is funny. How you broke, but telling another man where to put his money. Time.
Hey, punch.
It's over.
Punch.
It's
Ultimate Debate League.
Man, it's a classic. A classic.
Punch Ultimate Debate League. That was Jigga versus Taurus. Should college athletes be paid? I'm going to send it straight over to our ringside analysis to get a take and who they had winning this bout. Top tier podcast. De Jesus. It's on y'all. Punch.
All right, man. So, oh, man. This was a classic, man. A real true classic in my eyes. The topic was very well thought out. I thought both of them guys were well prepared. Seemed like y'all did some real research. Starting with the first round, I want to say that Jigga started off strong, made some valid points, a little jittery at the beginning, but found his pace and got to his points quickly enough to make it a solid, complete round. Taurus came out the gate gunning. Instantly started attacking using a very good angle and approach as far as like talking about it's a choice. It's you're volunteering to do this and things of that nature. Like he stuck to the point and he was very very solid the whole way through. So I gave him the first round. Taurus pretty clearly. Second round, Jigga, I think people will sleep on Jigga's second round. Like, he bounced back, really talking, really punching hard. He was talking about, about what these athletes go through. He started getting into the numbers game. I love when you guys talk about the analytics and bring stats, talk about how much money they make off the tournaments, man, which is a big, big deal. And the tournaments, the NCAA from football and basketball. And I thought that was a really dope angle. But Taurus was prepared for everything that Jig was bringing, man. Taurus countered that really, really well. He had, all types of angles talking about, but this is a volunteer, like you hear, but, you made a choice to do this. And he was talking about how you have to come up in every other situation, in any other job. And he said the key word is student athlete. You're a student first. I thought that was so powerful to bring that up. So, like, with that being said, man, he was up 2-0 to me. Third round, I gave it to Jigga because I thought Jigga started getting into his bag with that last minute. I think that last minute really swung the pendulum in his favor when he started getting back into his bag, talking about, like injuries and jerseys, like the revenue that everybody's making off of them but them. I thought that was important and powerful. Maybe he should have punched on that a little bit more, brought up those things for first, second round. But nobody had a bad round. I think all 3 rounds from everybody was powerful from both combatants, man. I want to salute y'all. But at the end of the day, I give it to Taurus 2-1, rounds 1 and 2, with Jigga taking the third. Great job, fellas.
Appreciate that top tier podcast. De Jesus, what's your thoughts on this battle?
I think to start off, I think it was really dope that both Jigga and Taurus brought some bars. Jigga brought it off at the start of his first, and Jigga finished it off in his third round. I do feel, though, that Jigga actually got the first round clear. I scored a 10-8. Taurus had a shorter round, and he seemed to be angling as opposed to the stats that Jigga was trying to bring up. But Jigga had some really good points. He brought up some names in the first round. He said that players can have an injury at any moment. He brought up Marcus Lattimore, Jalen Smith, Kevin Ware, Allen Ray. He said with televised games, you get a lot of viewers and traffic, so why wouldn't the players be able to get a piece of that? But Taurus came back and he said that the NCAA provides incentives for student athletes already, and they're already in school on a scholarship. So you got to make the most of your opportunity while you're there. This is something that it's part of the process. It's not you're not at the goal yet. So I do feel that Jigga had a longer round. Taurus had a short round. Jigga 10-8. The second round, though, I feel like Taurus took that with a really, really good angle. Jigga brought up the fact that there was $1.1 billion made off just March Madness, and that big universities bring $40 to $8 million a year in revenue. But Taurus rebutted that. And he says that if you were to give 460,000 college athletes the same amount of money, they might as well just go work at a Popeyes, which to me, it was a powerful angle because he's saying, revenue-wise, you couldn't split that much money up with that many athletes. So he says that education comes first and playing is a privilege. The thing is that the third round, though, I don't know how to call this third round, man. So I got a 1-1 going into the third, but Jigga used an angle that I feel actually worked better for Taurus. Now, someone might be able to top tier if you can chime in. But Jigga said that you will have bad habits financially and you need financial literacy, right? But I feel that works more towards the idea of staying in college, and I feel like it helped Taurus's point more. But for now, I feel like Taurus took that 2-1. I got Taurus 2-1, second and third. I agree with you, but I don't think he took the first round. I think his first round was a little too short.
I feel like what Jigga was doing was basically like bringing to the forefront of how these kids grow up without any means of learning how to handle money and maybe getting it at an early state. They'll be better well off as opposed to waiting until they get into like the league and get thrown this bunch of money. Because if you give them like college, you give them a little pay grade. I guess the term would be baby steps. You know how you get a little something and you learn how to handle that first before you get the big deal. Like, I think he was just saying, like, if you can gradually pay these kids, the earlier the better. The earlier they'll learn how to manage this money. I thought that's why I gave him the third. It's because you bring that angle up, and then the angle up of like all the revenue that everybody else is gaining, that he went a little bit more in depth with beyond just the tournament. When he brought up revenue and like the video game angle, like the video games, man, like they had a real beef, the Ed O'Bannon like trial and things like that, like making money off of their name without them getting a dime from it. I thought Jigga had a powerful third. He cooked that whole minute that he had.
Hey, salute
so
to
that's my take.
Hey, salute to both De Jesus and Top Tier Podcast for their feedback and who they had winning. Once again, this is Punch Ultimate Debate League. This was Jigga versus Taurus. Should college athletes be paid? Make sure y'all follow Punch right now on Instagram and Twitter at PunchUDL. Until next time, Punch. Follow Punch right now on all social medias at PunchUDL. Punch Ultimate Debate League. Punch.